Let's what are we talking about today? Oh yeah, health. So I came here around 8 years ago, 9 years ago now. Up until the age of 60, I could get health cover. So Phil Health, which is the predominant health insurance, and it is an insurance, guys. Don't come up with anything other than gobbledygook, but it's an insurance. You have to pay in every month, and then you'll get a percentage of that back when you go to hospital. You don't get the full amount, you just get a percentage of it. So it's around 1,800 peso a month for Phil Health until you get to 60. And then when you get to 60, you need to have paid 10 years of your Phil Health before you get to 60, so that you can claim Phil Health after the age of 60. Otherwise, when you turn around and go to Phil Health and you want the insurance, you got to pay approximately 17,000 peso a year for 10 years to qualify. Can't do it after 5 years or 6 years. You've got to make that commitment. So the reason I'm doing the vlog today is I'm seeing countless insurance videos from the US and other countries turn around and saying that hundreds of people are coming to the Philippines because the healthcare is good and it's cheap and reliable, and it may be as good as the Western world. That word maybe creeps in, doesn't it? There we go, a young lady's going to give me my coffee. Don't know where she's gone. So, a little bit of perspective. There's about 120 million people that live in the Philippines, and there are 13 top flight hospitals in the Philippines, in Manila and Cebu. There's no recommendation of any top flight hospitals in Davao, where I live. So when you come, if you're coming to the Philippines, you need to understand that if you've got a medical condition, you need to plan for that medical condition. If you've got heart problem and you're living in Dumaguete, which is like the retirement capital of the world for the Philippines, and I sarcastically say the world, but everybody sells that Dumaguete is the place to go when you want to retire. So it's doesn't have any top flight hospitals. You have to go to Cebu or you have to go to Manila. If you've got angina or you've got thrombosis or you've got heart condition, or like me, eye condition, then you have to go outside of, for me, outside Davao and outside my comfort zone. So let's talk about prices, shall we? For me, when I first came here, I had a medical, and it was about 1,500 peso to do blood, thrombosis, check on my heart, check on TB, check on if I had any issues. Then it was all clear. And 1,500 peso is not a lot of money for some people. For other people, it is a lot of money. So I got my visa, and I've been there ever since. Now, family friend of ours, thyroid, to do the check at a local hospital with 750 peso, and to get the results, because they're very good here at telling you what's wrong with you. Then you've got to turn around and add up all the things that you need, i.e. 1, doctor, you pay for the doctor. Number 2, you pay for the x-ray. Number 3, you pay for the laboratory tests. Number 4, you pay for the medicals. Number 5, you pay for anything that is superficial or outside of that. Number 8 is you pay for express. So if you've got an issue going on and you need to get the results back quickly, then they can express it. You'd have thought that with your health, you'd have done that in the beginning, wouldn't you, really? But anyway, so our family friend went and got his results for his lab, for his thyroid and everything like that, and they said he needs to go for the operation. But he doesn't have the 275,000 peso to have the operation. And then he doesn't have the money for the carer, because they won't let you go into hospital unless you have a carer looking after you. Baffles me what the nurses do. In the UK, nurses look after you. Don't allow anybody outside to come in and start looking after you. Okay, it's down to the nursing team, because that's what they're qualified in doing. But here you've got to have a carer, so you've got to pay for the carer, then you've got to turn around and pay for the bed, and you've got to pay for the food, then you've got to... So this is where people turn around and say it's cheaper to have operations in the Philippines. It is, but it does all add up. And as I mentioned earlier, over 60, it's a cash world here on health. To get insurance, I've touched on this before. I can get Primex insurance, 35,000 a year. I can get it online, pay the 35,000. It covers me for a raft of things, but it also doesn't cover me for a raft of things, like angina, like heart disease, like circulation issues, like kidney issues, like liver issues, like eye issues, like stroke. All of those, the insurance company get rid of it. It's your responsibility. So what's the point of actually getting an insurance policy? Well, peace of mind? Yeah, it can be peace of mind, but it's an expensive peace of mind. I've mentioned it a couple of times. I use a credit card, and I have that credit card, and that will get me into hospital, because consultation is a price, admission is a price, ambulance is a price, everything. And as you become older, you become more susceptible, don't you? You do become susceptible. You've got aches and pains and things that are not working. Things don't drop off. Things don't come up properly. Yeah, and you know, you get high blood, you get cholesterol issues, but you've got to pay for it all. Pay for it all. Now, if you have somebody that's Filipino that wants to turn around and help you get a discount, the discount is only viable to the person that is a Filipino. So if your name is, I don't know, let's turn around and come up with a name. Or let's say your name's Donald Trump, you wouldn't get discount. If your name was Bonbon Marcos, you would get a discount. There you go. That's the easy thing. So you can get your discount, your 20%, but you need to turn around and have a Philippine ID card, and you need to be with the Filipino. But as I said,
Hi sir, good morning. Sir, I just want to confirm lang, sir. Ay, so sorry. Thank you.
So, I don't know what that is, just wants to confirm, and then walks away. this hotel's got worse. So you turn around and you go to the hospital. They do a triage and a check-in when you go there. And I think it's about the second or third thing they ask. Is it cash? First one. Credit? Second one. Insurance? Third one. If you're on insurance, everything takes ages. If you're on cash, it's like you're in a speeding cab. Yeah, they want your money. They want it fast. So I do a credit card, and what I do is, if I'm going to turn around, because I don't want to die in hospital, I will turn around and get Annie to come in there, get me out of the hospital, and I'll go home, and then I'll turn around and do whatever I got to do at home. Outpatients, they do outpatients, and the outpatients is very, very good. Again, it's costly. What you have to turn around and remember is there are 13 world-class hospitals in the Philippines. Not one of them is in Davao. They're all listed as like St. Luke's in Manila or something else or something else. The premium cancer hospital is in Cebu, and it's Chinese. And you need to understand it. So I've vlogged SPMC here, which is a public hospital, and I had an infection, and one doctor turned around and said I needed blood. I went to the give blood and paid, and the doctor that gave blood said, no, you don't need blood for that because it's an external infection. It's not. And I'm like, okay, so I'll just pay for it. Do I get the money back? No, you don't get the money back. No, you don't get the money back. Cool, bloody hell, no. There's always a way to pay, but there's not a way to give. So just get admitted, put it on your bill, and get it sorted out. But once you're in hospital, it's can I say this? It's a pleasant experience. You know, the staff and the nurses are well trained, but you'll get hundreds of people turning up doing checks on you from medical schools, asking you questions about what is wrong with you, you know, and stuff like that. And you've got to bear with that. I mean, Annie when she was in hospital, used to get 3 or 4 teams of people walking around every day. Nothing to do with the doctors and the nurses. These were just students asking questions for their school reports and stuff like that. But they turn up and they turn around and take your temperature and stuff like that, and they turn around and take your blood pressure, and they take your weight, and then look at your food and just list it all, and that becomes like their little project for what they're doing at school, medical school at San Pedro. So if you come in here and you've got serious health problems, don't let it affect you. Just come here. Yeah? You can get all the meds you want over the counter here, either from a generic pharmacy or from a named pharmacy. But what a lot of people are doing now here, as long as you know the name of the drug and it's on the prescription, which it will be, what people I know do is they photocopy the prescription on PDF, change the date, print it out, and then go down to the pharmacy and just hand it in. Yeah, that's what. Is it right? I'm not here, but it's saving you money, and it's turning around and getting you the right meds for your high blood and your cholesterol and your sciatica or your arthritis or your claustrophobia or your throat infection. But I also know a few people that actually buy their drugs online from India. And they get sent here, either through Shopee or Lazada, and that gives them their meds. When I came here 8-9 years ago and I had my diabetic medicine from the UK, I turned around and stopped it. I stopped my meds when I was here in the Philippines, mainly because 2 of the meds that were prescribed to me were prescribed to my father, and my father died from taking those meds. So you can only go on experience, can't you? If somebody in your family dies because the meds they're taking and the doctors don't listen to you, that your father passed away because of 2 drugs you were taking, or he was taking, because the drugs were not for long-term use, they were for short-term use, what are you going to do? Well, me, I stop, yeah, because then I don't trust the medical profession, yeah. They're just like me, they're human. Let your body turn around and tell you whether you're right or wrong. But somebody out there, one of you guys out there will turn around and say, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, you shouldn't be doing that, you shouldn't be doing that. Well, I did it. I'm still here. Still here 9 years later. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. So if I'm here in 20 years' time, I'll be on this channel going to you, well, I outlasted you. You did not live to the end. So, yeah, so health in the Philippines is a little bit dodgy. It's a little bit difficult to make a decision. But on my understanding of what I've actually received, the hospitals are good, the patients are good, the nurses are good, but it takes an awful long time. Yeah, it takes an awful long time to get over what you've got here. Yeah, if you're a cash payment, there's a rush. If you're on Phil Health, and if you can get Phil Health, it just turns around and takes an awful long time. And I was in San Pedro with Annie, and Annie claimed for her Phil Health, and she'd paid in for about 9 years, 1,800 peso a month, and she got 800 peso. So if you take 1 year, Annie paid in around 2,500 peso, and she got 800 back. Now that wasn't to pay her meds, that was just to turn around and pay admin fees. Crazy that, isn't it? And when you go to hospitals, they got these admin areas that you have to go down there and sit there, and they turn around. And if you've got overseas insurance, you have to pay cash and then claim back the overseas insurance. So you end up having that double-edged sword that if you've got a European health certificate or, you know, EH1 or whatever it is from Europe, and you claiming on it, you have to pay it first and then claim it back. It leaves a sour taste in my mouth. That's why I said I got a credit card. So if anything happens to me and I drop down dead, all the debt is against me, and Annie doesn't need to use a credit card because I'm dead. And that will be breaking the law, violating the credit agreement of using a credit card when the person is deceased. So the hospital will have to pick up all the bills. But they're insured for it, so they can pay it out and then claim it back from their insurance company, if that insurance company wants to pay it back. So what else can I say about health here? My health is the sunshine. Getting out every day, eating healthily, eating properly, and just doing exercise. Not major exercise, just a little bit of exercise every day. Not overdoing it. But anyway, from the waterfront hotel with a great view down to the beach, with the palm trees swaying, the breeze blowing. Take care. Like, share, subscribe.